They said she was just drunk. That's the explanation that closed the case. But if that's true, why does the footage tell a different story? At 3:20 a.m., Kenneka Jenkins is seen walking alone through the halls of a Chicago hotel. She's not running. She's not screaming. But she's also not acting like someone who knows where she's going. Here's the first problem. She wasn't supposed to be alone. Minutes earlier, she had been at a party with friends. Hours later, she would be found somewhere no guest should ever be. A hotel freezer, locked, cold, silent. Police say there was no foul play. Hotel staff say nothing unusual happened. And yet, for reasons never fully explained, security footage skips, jumps, disappears. And then there's her phone. It didn't die where her body was found. It stopped moving before she ever reached that freezer. So, how did she get there? Someone was supposed to notice. And someone didn't. And by the time anyone realized she was missing, the world would start asking questions that still have no answers. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly how a normal night at a hotel turned into a tragedy that baffled Chicago. You'll uncover every small detail that was missed, the skipped security footage, the odd elevator rides, the tiny choices that changed everything. You'll also see why some people believe this was not an accident, and why others insist it was. If you think you know the story, think again. Because every fact, every witness, every angle tells a story no one wants to admit. It was Thursday, September 9th, 2017. Kenneka, just 19, was at a party with friends at the Ramada Inn in Rosemont. Laughter, music, drinks, ordinary fun, until it wasn't. Kenneka was careful, thoughtful, almost paranoid. She double-checked doors, watched her surroundings, rarely left a party alone. Her friends described her as full of life, but cautious, responsible, the kind of person you trust to make smart choices, which is why what happened next still doesn't make sense. After leaving her friends briefly, Kenneka is captured on cameras wandering the hotel hallways. She opens doors, peeks into empty rooms, pauses in the elevator, retraces her steps, all without explanation. Her phone is still active, but not with her friends. It moves around the hotel, but where? Some staff would later say they saw her in the hallways. Some didn't. Some cameras seemed to skip seconds, as if moments were missing. One decision, just one small step, would change everything. Kenneka was about to enter a place no one should ever enter alone, and cameras were still rolling. Did anyone see her? Did anyone notice she was alone? Or was she already disappearing from everyone's memory? Everyone who knew Kenneka said she was careful, thoughtful, almost paranoid, which is why what happened next feels impossible. The security cameras show her wandering, but footage jumps, pauses, retraces, skips again. Where did she go during these missing minutes? Some suggested she was drunk. Others whispered about a stranger. Some said maybe it was a prank gone wrong, but no one saw anything suspicious. No one admits to it. Her friends later said they last saw her laughing, smiling, leaving the party to get fresh air. She didn't seem worried. She didn't seem scared, which is why her disappearance is haunting. By early morning, she would be found inside a freezer, locked, cold, silent. The phone had stopped pinging far away from that room. Hotel staff swore no one had entered the freezer that night. Was it human error? Her friends? The hotel system? Coincidence? Police arrived and called it an accident. No foul play, no missing items, nothing stolen. But some details haunted investigators. Security footage didn't match statements. Doors that shouldn't have opened. Elevators moving on their own. Then came social media. Videos leaked. People started speculating, comments exploded, theories multiplied. The more people watched, the less they understood. And that's when the theory everyone believed, tragic accident, started to crumble. Could this really have been just bad luck? Or was there something else happening that night? For weeks, the story seemed simple, tragic accident. But the timeline refused to add up. Police first focused on friends. Did someone leave her alone? Lead her somewhere? Then hotel staff and security. Could the system have failed? Then environmental factors, elevators, doors, hallways, coincidence or design flaw? A 6-second clip surfaced online, blurry, short, but unmistakable. It showed Kenneka moving down a hallway alone, pausing, and vanishing from frame. No one saw her enter the freezer. No one saw anyone near her. Some said prank gone wrong. Some said foul play. Some blamed cruel coincidence. But none explained why she, a cautious young woman, ended up in a locked freezer alone. Party, separation, wandering, phone stops pinging, security footage gaps, conflicting witness statements. Nothing fits neatly. Every explanation raises more questions. By the time the freezer was discovered, the story wasn't just tragic. It was impossible to fully explain. The case was officially closed. Kenneka Jenkins's death ruled an accident. No one charged, no clear culprit. Her family, friends, and the public never felt complete closure. Her parents spoke out repeatedly, asking questions. Her friends described the pain of reconciling the careful, cautious Kenneka with the tragedy that followed. Questions remain. How did a careful 19-year-old end up inside a locked freezer alone? Why did security footage skip critical moments? How did no one notice until it was too late? Theories abound. Human error, friends, staff, hotel system, something stranger, coincidence, hidden danger. Even years later, debates continue, footage gaps, unanswered questions, strange anomalies, lingering shadows over the case. Do you think this was a tragic accident, or is there something more hidden beneath the surface? One thing is certain. Kenneka's story reminds us how fragile life can be, and how small moments, overlooked, unnoticed, can change everything. The truth? It might never fully come to light. And that's why people are still watching, still asking what really happened that night at the Ramada Inn. In the end, investigators ruled Kenneka Jenkins' death a tragic accident. The Cook County medical examiner concluded she died from hypothermia after entering the hotel's walk-in freezer, with alcohol and medication listed as contributing factors. No evidence of foul play was found, and no criminal charges were ever filed. But for Kenneka's family, that explanation was never enough. They believed this wasn't just an accident, but a failure. Security cameras weren't actively monitored. Restricted areas weren't secured. And when Kenneka was reported missing, valuable time was lost. Years later, those claims led to a lawsuit. In 2023, Kenneka Jenkins's family reached a $10 million settlement with the hotel and its contractors. The settlement included no admission of wrongdoing, and with it, the civil case was officially closed. Legally, the case is over. But publicly, the questions remain. How did she move through the hotel without being stopped? Why weren't certain areas searched sooner? And could this have been prevented? That's why the death of Kenneka Jenkins is still debated today, not because of what was proven in court, but because of what many believe should never have happened. Do you believe this was a tragic accident or a preventable failure? Share your thoughts in the comments.